Hey everybody, Jay Super Awesome here. I'd like to welcome you all to week number 28 of the HORRORman's SlashBack Saturday Challenge. This week's slasher movie theme is Entertainment Slashers, and I will be giving my review for Kolobos. Okay, so getting into the plot for this one. A group of youngsters arrive at a snow-covered house under the jest of participating in a groundbreaking new experimental film, but with the entire property fitted out with cameras to capture their every move. What initially promises to be a fun foray into reality TV stardom soon turns into a fight for survival as the youngsters find themselves trapped at the mercy of deadly booby traps and faceless killers. Okay, so before getting into my thoughts and opinions of the movie, I thought I would take a few moments to explain how Kolobos fits for this week's SlashBack Challenge theme of Entertainment Slasher Movie. So pretty much what that is we had to watch and review a slasher movie that has a scene where we have characters maybe watching TV, maybe they're watching a TV show or a movie, or maybe they're just playing a video game, or they could have went to the movie theater. It had to have some other form of entertainment within the movie. It just so happens to be that Kolobos has a group of characters that have been cast for a live reality TV show. And one of these characters is an actress who starred in some slasher movies. The name of these slasher movies is The Slaughterhouse Factor. Now I looked this up. I didn't see anything on it, so they are not real slasher movies, but they looked really cool from what I could see when they was watching it. There was one of the guys that was kind of dogging the movie, saying more or less that they were a Friday the 13th ripoff, but from what I can see, they looked really cool. But they seem to be having a pretty good time. It's a really good scene. They're all eating popcorn and seem to be having a good time watching these movies. Also, our main character, she has had sort of a troubled past, and she's having problems with seeing visions, and you can never tell if what she's seeing is real or if she's just hallucinating or what's going on with her. But a few times throughout the movie, she's seeing a TV screen with a person's face on TV, and he's peeling his skin off. So that's sort of a reoccurring vision that she is seeing throughout the movie. So I feel like this was a perfect choice for this week's SlashBack Challenge theme of Entertainment Slasher Movie. Okay, so getting into my thoughts for this one. I really enjoyed this movie, but it does have a lot going on. And that is due to our main character, where she is having a lot of hallucinations. Sometimes it's hard to know what is real or what's all in her head. The movie is doing a really good job of setting up some misdirection. So it's definitely keeping you on your toes, but it does hold your interest to see where this storyline is going to take us. I thought it was really neat in the special features how they went on to explain how they drew inspiration for the making of Kolobos from classic Italian movies. And they did mention Suspiria, and I sort of did get a Suspiria vibe from this movie, basically because of the use of very vivid colors, and I really enjoyed that about this movie. And also the score to the movie was absolutely fantastic, and it definitely had that Suspiria vibe to it. I thought it was really awesome. Something else I thought was really interesting within the special features was they went on to explain where they got the name Kolobos from. And Kolobos basically means the mutilated or self-mutilation. But they was visiting a zoo and they came across the Kolobos monkey. And I think that's actually spelled with a C instead of a K, but whatever. They went on to learn that this monkey was considered to be a better monkey because he was missing his thumbs, but he could swing through the trees faster. So they drew inspiration from that for their idea to the storyline. What I find interesting about all of this is, I remember when this movie came out and it was released in 1999, I remember seeing it on the shelves, and I mistake this to be a creature feature. That's the vibe I got from the name, and it's also the vibe I got from the cover art as well. And I think that might have been why a lot of people overlooked this movie. Because at the time period with slasher movies being very popular, this one was a lot different than anything else that was coming out in its time. And I feel like a lot of later on slasher movies kind of drew some inspiration from this one. And I'm referring to The Collection or The Collector. And also there is a little bit of a Saw vibe, but I'm really thinking The Collector really had to draw some inspiration from this movie. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the cast of characters we have in Kolobos. We have a group of characters who were cast to be on this live TV show. Each one of these characters were giving an interview, and in this interview they were giving more or less a character profile, so we get to learn about each one of them. So there was the actress, who is pretty much a person who is all about herself and looking to do whatever it takes to further her career. There's another girl who is a fast food worker. She works at a fast food restaurant. A guy who is a stand-up comedian. And then there's another guy, I can't really remember what his deal was. He's sort of like the sensitive type guy. And then of course we have our main character, who is a emotionally troubled young lady. She is an artist, and a lot of her hallucinations are the inspiration for her artwork. And also her artwork sort of interprets how she sees the world or how she sees the people around her. Also, the movie has a few side characters, and overall I thought all the acting was pretty solid in this movie. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the most important part of a slasher movie, that is the killer and the kills. And unfortunately, this is something that I'm not going to be able to discuss a whole lot. I don't want to give too much of the movie away. We do have a villain character, and his name is the Faceless. We learn that he is deeply connected to our disturbed and delusional lead character of the story. He is really cool looking, and I really like the setup and the idea of his character. As far as the kills go, we get some pretty good blood and gore throughout this movie. We don't always get to see the death scenes. Sometimes the characters are getting split up and a body gets discovered, and then we have some confusion amongst the characters, and then we have some finger pointing going on. This movie has a really good setup to it, and I really enjoyed the storyline. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about in my review for Kolobos is this release put out by Arrow Video. I'm a huge fan of this company, and a lot of my favorite things in my collection have been released by Arrow Video, which makes it really hard for me to complain about their product, but I was really not happy with this release for Kolobos. So I'm going to give a couple of positive things real quick, and then I will tell you what my problem is. So the audio for this release is fantastic, which really helps out because the score to Kolobos is excellent. This release is loaded with special features. Now, I have not made my way through all of the special features just yet. I have been enjoying what I have seen so far, so that's always a positive thing. My big issue with this release is the picture quality. I got to noticing with a lot of the interior shots, the picture quality would flicker back and forth between a really fantastic picture quality to a really fuzzy looking picture quality. Now, I wouldn't say this fuzzy picture quality is VHS quality, but it is highly noticeable. And it made me think of when I was a kid, when the picture would start to go out when you were watching something, when you would go outside and start turning the antenna. That's what this made me think of. So it's highly noticeable. And I pretty much just noticed it with a lot of the interior shots. But anyway, this is going to be my review for Kolobos. I'm going to give the movie a 7.5 out of 10. If you guys have this release, let me know what you think about it. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and I would like to thank you all for watching.